Alright, hello, I'm recording now, so Sonic 06 stream's basically over. I said on Twitter that I would talk about how I legitimately feel about this game, how I legitimately feel about Sonic 06. Now, a lot of people think I meme around when I say that I genuinely like this game, when I say that I feel that it's my favorite Sonic game. And that is how I genuinely feel, that's how I legitimately feel. But this game does have issues. It does have issues here and there. Oh, it actually, I didn't cut it out in the credits. Well, that's your biggest issue. That was your biggest issue in the game, right there. But the game does have very big problems. A lot of them are story-based, some are glitches, but a lot of them are story and character-based. The graphics on the game are fine. There is some frame rate issues here and there, but that's more or less probably based more on the console. But yeah, the game, good music. Fun gameplay, some issues, some bosses are a bit conspicuous. The camera could be better during the Iblis fights for Sonic and Shadow, but it's not bad. It's fun. I genuinely have fun every time I play this game, otherwise I wouldn't have streamed it 6 times already, all the way through. And there'll be a 7th time November, when November comes around, and then that'll be my last Sonic 06 stream, unless Clyde gets 100 Platinum Trophies. So this game, obviously came out in 2006, I think 2007 in some places, outside of Japan and US maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I played this game in 2007 originally, and I enjoyed it back then as well. It was so much harder back then, but it was still fun, you know? The end of Sonic 06? November, that's when my last Sonic 06 stream is. Unless Clyde gets 100 Platinum Trophies, of course. Then it's one Sonic 06 stream every day for an entire week for 6, 7, 8 hours a day. Which should probably be basically finish the game 7 times, essentially. But yeah, so the game has issues. A lot of these issues, as I've played through the game and gotten better, I feel like a lot more of these issues are more or less stemming from not really knowing how to play the game or not really playing them properly. Because when I played the game with the controller in reverse, I came across a lot of issues. A lot of weird bugs that would happen, and that's just when you play it incorrectly or just you're new to the game, you'll encounter stuff. We encountered some bugs during this, some pretty big, I wouldn't say big, but there's some nuisances. Like when Rouge is attached to the wall and not jumping off. That usually doesn't happen, but it happened big time today. The designs, a lot of the characters' designs are actually pretty good, except for Eggman here. I had to mention Eggman here because, well, he just showed up. His design was pretty bad, but everyone else's design is pretty good. You know, everyone else has good designs. You know, like the longer quills on the hedgehogs and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. It shows that they're more mature a bit. Which this game aimed for a more mature feel, I feel. Did it succeed? Kind of. The story is problematic. There's so many plot holes here and there. There's like 8 Chaos Emeralds in the past at one point, and 6 in the present. So that's kinda weird, unless it's trying to say, hey, we actually have the Chaos Emeralds, well, there's one pair across all past, present, and future. If you go back in time, will that mean that the Chaos Emeralds in the past are the same as the ones in the present and future? How did they go back? Are they always going to be in the present timeline? It makes things very confusing, and that's one problem with the story. There's other problems, depends, because I usually say most Sonic games are canon. So, Blaze says, Blue Hedgehog at one point, but they never follow up on it. There's a lot of cases where they don't follow up on something in the game, and that's a bit... And they put that Blaze is from the future in this game when Apparently Sonic Rush is canon, so I guess it's meant to be a different Blaze, but Blaze is from the Soul Dimension, but this Blaze comes from this future apparently, so it's kind of... I don't know what's meant to be happening there. Is Sonic 06 canon though? That is a big question. Aaron Weber at the Sonic community team, I think community manager, says it's not canon. But the reason it's not canon is because of the ending, which basically null and voids everything that happened in the game. It's like, okay, nothing happened. We realize all the stuff that happened in the game is confusing, ridiculous, so we'll refresh it, we'll restart from the beginning, as if Sonic just whoosh, went by, saw the festival and left. The Solaris no longer exists, everything reset, everything's fine, the future's gonna be fine, Silver's future's gonna be fine. Do we see it? No. Would I like to have seen Silver's future after what happened? Yes, I'd like to know if it was fine. But we're not going to. What about Blaze? Is she okay now? She should be. She should be, if everything was reset. So that's probably based more, if it was reset, maybe... You have to make your own headcanon a lot of times, basically, throughout this series, throughout Sonic 06. And throughout the Sonic games in general. For example, Blaze probably came from the Soul Dimension to Silver's time. That's probably the headcanon you have to make there. So does that mean, after the whole Solaris thing went down, does that mean Blaze is actually back in this Soul Dimension? You don't really get told anything. Sonic Rush Adventure doesn't go off of Sonic 06 or anything like that, or the Sonic Rush games. It's like... The game has a lot of plot holes and a lot of story elements that needed to be followed up on, but they didn't follow up on it. Music, fantastic. Gameplay, I, and others, I think there's others, enjoy the gameplay a lot. And I wish this kind of gameplay would return. I really do. That's not to say the boost gameplay is bad, but I wish this kind of gameplay would return. It'd be fantastic. Some characters don't play really well, Amy being the biggest example. Anyway, well, credits are basically done. I've been talking throughout the entire credits. Other issues include consistently loading almost every time you do something different, like missions and all that. They're always loading. There's some missions that are absolutely ridiculous and can really make someone be like, I don't really want to play this game anymore. It makes them want to not play it. So one of them is the mission for Sonic when you have to beat all these enemies with 0 rings. So if you get hit, you lose. That is one mission that I think should have been changed. But make it so, you start with 1 ring, and then if you lose that ring, you don't get it back, and so on and so forth. That would have made it a little bit more easier while still being challenging. But that's essentially the stuff that I've talked about are the issues. I feel like Elise is a terrible character, only because the whole bestiality element. If she was... an anthropomorphic fairy, or whatever you want to call them, like Sonic, Shadow, Silver, Amy and all that, I feel like she'd be a lot more better as a character, wouldn't be controversial as it is, a human kissing a hedgehog. So yeah, there are glaring issues with the game, but I enjoy it a lot. I genuinely really enjoy Sonic 06, otherwise I wouldn't have played it this many times. So... Gosh, I'm going on and on and on. Right. Been recording 10 minutes nearly talking about Sonic 06. But that's pretty much my issues with the game. Everything else I like. I like the music. I've talked about that many times. When it comes to music in games, that is actually kind of a bit of a big selling point. If I like the music, I might actually get the game. Sonic Forces' music made me really hyped for the game, but that turned out to be a bit of a disappointment elsewhere. It was a short game, but it was still fun. I still enjoyed it despite how short it is. I finished Sonic Forces in 2 hours, so including episode shadow. That's a different story for a different time. Sonic 06, it's a fun game. It's lengthy. It's expansive. You got multiple characters. You can play as multiple instead of just one character or 2 characters or something, essentially. So I'm not gonna say 3 because Sonic Forces with Shadow. Shadow plays the exact same as Sonic, so it's just really 2. But yeah, nah. I miss stuff like Sonic 06, where you can play as multiple characters from the Sonic cast, rather than just 1 or 2. So, each with their own unique style and level design. So, I missed that. And I feel like they need to bring it back for something special. I know there's Sonic Mania. I know there's that kind of game. And that's great. Sonic Mania was alright, you know? But that's about it. So, I think I've said my piece about how I feel about Sonic 06. Would I like there to be a port of it to PS4, Xbox One, etc.? Yes, I would love there to be a port of the game. And of course, a port means basically, you know, that's it. You know, you brought the game over. Hey, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you very much. I missed it. Was that you? But yeah, I'd like to see an HD port of Sonic 06 to PS4, Xbox One, and all that. I don't think it'll happen. Sega doesn't like doing remakes or whatever. But I'd like to see a port with trophies, because I think I would actually go through and platinum trophy this game if I could. But I think I've gone through pretty much everything. Good game, good music, good gameplay. Very big issues with the story, some characters, some design choices, and some elements of the gameplay that are too buggy, but aren't too glaring of an issue. I think this game's, other than that, I'd honestly give this game a 9 out of 10, or maybe an 8 out of 10, but roughly around there. As a legitimate rating for the game, I'd actually give it around there. Maybe a 9, maybe a 9, oh, I said an 8 or 9. Maybe I'd give it a 9.5. But that's how I legitimately feel about Sonic 06. The game's pretty much done, and I will be streaming this game again in November. From start to finish, over 3 days as per usual. But thanks for watching how I legitimately feel about Sonic 06. Now I'm going to wrap up my stream.